Hello, teacher.
Hello. Good morning, Vietnam. Good evening to me.
Oh, in your country now is the evening.
Yes, it's my evening. It is your morning. Very good.
Yes, yes.
My day is ending. Your day is starting. Okay, very good. So, who is on the house today? We have. Um, Let me see the names here because it's difficult for me. So we have Van Nguyen Luong Sam and Tuan. Student, come. Please say hello.
Yes, hello,
Van,
hello, teacher. Yes.
Yes, hello, teacher. You can call me
ah,
Katie for short.
say again.
Kathy.
Katie. All right, Katie. So, all right. Oh, very good. Katie. Okay, very good. So let's start. Tuan, I already know. Tuan is always there, studying hard. Student Kathy, I want you to read this case for me on screen, please.
Yes, a business tries a new strategy that they believe to be very effective. The managers notice positive results, such as increased sales, before they notice negative ones, such as increased costs.
Okay, so I have a question for Tuan. Tuan, so what problems could this situation cause? Actually, this question is for both of you. Help me with this. What problems could this situation cause that student Kathy read? Please help me with this. Hello.
Yes.
So what
I think
problem?
when the business want to increase a new stretch, it get some laxative, such as it will increase the cost.
Correct. And student Kathy, do you agree with one?
Well, I think the problem for the business here that when they carry out a new strategy, maybe they have a lot of, I guess, sometimes benefits, but sometimes drawbacks. So they have to think carefully about positive and negative results when they conduct any strategies, even new or even want it to be better.
Mhm. Okay, very good. So we have this situation, and there's one thing called confirmation bias. What is confirmation bias? Please, what is that? Try to respond. What is confirmation bias? Any idea,
I
guys?
think between positive and negative ones results, is it correct?
Maybe not. One. What is confirmation bias?
I think the confirmation bias is the 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 resource can increase sales.
Hmm. And what is the cause of confirmation bias, guys?
There are some problems like it also increase cost.
Mm. Student Katie, yes or no? Does it increase the cost? Yeah.
Mm, yes, I agree with Mr. Tung.
Mhm. In your business, in your work, how is confirmation bias? How can confirmation bias affect your business, your job, where you work? Any ideas? Do you guys work or just study?
I'm
Um,
I
here,
am work.
You work, okay. Katie, do you work or do you just study?
currently I'm work as a freelancer.
Oh, very good. Yes.
A freelancer. All right. What's your job, Tuan? I don't know your job. What is your job?
I'm a mechanical engineer.
Mechanical
Now
engineer. All right.
I am working on a power plant.
All right. That sounds good. In this lesson, we are going to discuss the negative impacts of confirmation bias. Let's start. Okay, so by the end of this lesson, you'll be able to use target vocabulary to discuss the negative impacts of confirmation bias, which you already have, in my opinion. Number two, talk about future possibility strategy. I'm sure you can do this already. Number three, use target structures to show personal opinions. You already know this, and give explanations in discussion. Let's hope there's something new to you here in this lesson today. So, let's listen here to the situation. For example, what could be a possible word to be put in here, do you think?
I think we should put a verb.
And I think what one?
Let's think, let's try to guess. Which verb do you think? Before I play. No idea. So pay attention, always pay attention to the words that come, the key words that come before and after. So that makes easier for you to pay attention to the listening part, because right now we'll be listening to something and you have to fill the gaps. So be sure when and what to fill the gaps with. So for example, in the audio, you would hear something like that. Can you see the word? Let me underline this to make sure we are on the same page. Can you see? Difficult
Yes.
comes before, right? So
Yes.
then you have to pay attention to this. Very good. So let me show you this, the questions. Are you ready to start?
Yes, I'm ready.
So let me send the activity to you. You already have the activity, correct? Let me play.
People receive a lot of information every day, and it can be difficult for us to concentrate on all of it. We often choose what we think is important and only pay attention to it. That creates a problem. Confirmation bias. Confirmation bias means we see what we want to see. We like to be right, and so we listen to evidence that supports what we already believe and we ignore evidence that goes against what we believe. We rarely hear the other side of the argument and miss relevant information. For example, if you believe that the world is generally getting worse, you will see only evidence to support your opinion when you hear the news. You will pay attention to stories about rising crime and environmental problems. And you will ignore evidence that suggests people around the world are getting richer, becoming healthier, and living longer.
Okay, I will play again. Is it okay for you? Should I play again? Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
People receive a lot of information every day, and it can be difficult for us to concentrate on all of it. We often choose what we think is important and only pay attention to it. That creates a problem. Confirmation bias. Confirmation bias means we see what we want to see. We like to be right, and so we listen to evidence that supports what we already believe and we ignore evidence that goes against what we believe. We rarely hear the other side of the argument and miss relevant information. For example, if you believe that the world is generally getting worse, you will see only evidence to support your opinion when you hear the news. You will pay attention to stories about rising crime and environmental problems. And you will ignore evidence that suggests people around the world are getting richer, becoming healthier, and living longer.
Okay, guys. Is it okay or should I play once more? It's okay now.
It's okay, and I sent my assignment already.
Okay. So there we have. We have the assignment of student KT. It's in secret with me. She had a mistake. I don't have the one's assignment. But let's see. For the keywords, look at what I have for number one. I already done this for you. For the keywords, you have confirmation, listen, evidence. Therefore, it is support. Student Katie wrote support. I have a question. Why it is supports and not support? Because student Katie put support. Why it is supports and not support? Explain.
I think the subject confirmation bias is the singular, so I think we need.
Correct. Confirmation bias is singular. That's the answer. Number two, student one. What are the key words for number two and the answer for number two?
The number two, the keyword is confirmation bias.
And the possible answer is
relevant information.
Actually, it is miss. A student, Katie, got this correct. Yes. Okay. Difficult. Maybe this audio is difficult. Student Katie, what are the keywords for number three and the answer?
Number three, I see the tense future with the word will. So after will, I will write but one, and I think the word ignore in this one.
So I have a question. Do you understand the word support means ignore? Yes or no?
Yes.
Are you sure? Okay, so student Katie, make a sentence with the word ignore to me.
Yes. Jenny ignores. Jenny ignores every advice when Jenny ignores any advice from her parents when she has any troubles.
So yeah, I don't know if you said ignores or ignored, but it cannot be ignored. Okay, it has to be ignored in the past or ignores in the present. I don't know. I think you did. I didn't hear that correctly.
Ignores.
Oh, ignores. Oh, right. Student one, make a sentence with miss.
Yes, when we are so busy, we can miss something or some information that from the friends give us.
Student Katie, make a sentence with support or supports.
Yes. My parents always support my me and my younger sister when we are in need.
Exactly. Emotion. In this case, it sounds like emotional support. I don't know if that's what you meant, but it sounds to me like emotional support. It's not financial support. It's not about money. Student one, concentrate.
Yes.
Concentrate.
That's when I have some major exam. I usually concentrate on my knowledge and on my workhouse.
Okay, now we have this question. Student Katie, read this question and give me the answer.
Yes. What is confirmation bias? I think A, when we accept evidence that supports the opinion we believe and ignore another evidence.
Student one, do you agree? Is she correct?
That's I agree with Katie.
Student one, what is the cause of confirmation bias?
The confirmation bias is when we agree with some conclusion we want bias to the disease.
Hmm. Now, I want you to give him one example of real life, student Tuan and student Katie. A real life situation or example of a confirmation bias, maybe from a friend, from your job, that you receive the information and you choose what to pay attention to. Give me a real life example of your life. You too. I want to hear from Tuan and from Katie.
Oh, that is our life when we receive a lot of good thing about anyone. You will feel the person is friendly and funny.
Mhm, mhm. Student Tuan, sorry, student Katie.
Mm, well, I think in the real life, I think on a daily basis, I receive a lot of information, maybe from my parents, from my customers, or maybe even from my managers, and I have to concentrate all of the informations. But I need to choose maybe what thing I need to do first, and then the second, and then until the last one.
Mhm. Well, so now let's see some problems confirmation bias may cause. This is the situation of confirmation bias we saw from the beginning of the lesson. So we see a problem confirmation bias may cause here is that the business may waste more money. As you can see, student Katie, read the question at the end, the answer for me.
Yes. What problem confirmation bias can cause in this situation? And I think the problem confirmation bias here is um, maybe a new strategy.
Mhm. But let's read the definition below what is written there on screen. Please read it.
Yes. A business tries a new strategy that they believe to be very effective. The managers notice positive results such as increased sales before they notice negative ones such as increased costs.
Student 1, do you know any company that lost money because of a bias, confirmation bias?
Can you repeat?
Do you know any company that lost money because of confirmation bias?
That's I think now there are a lot of company invest to the land. So this company often focus on the focus on the increased sales and how many they how much they can earn every uh, project. So they didn't they ignore about some negative ones they can get face. That
Student
is big
Katie.
problem.
Mhm. Thanks. Student Katie, do you know any real life example?
Mm, sorry, can you say again?
Do you know any real life example of a company that lost money because of confirmation bias?
Well, I think in the real life, it's always happen a lot. If we don't have maybe know um, how to how to solve the problem effectively, it's maybe cost a lot of money.
Right. Student 1, read this information for me on this page that just popped up here, this information here.
That's
Read it.
business choice a new strategy that they believe to be very effective. The managers notice positive such as increased sales before they notice negative on such as increased cost. It seems to me that the business will probably waste more money. This is because the managers only concentrate on positive results. So they might continue to use this strategy and increase the cost for business.
Mhm, mhm. Guys, so let's see some sentences here. You can see some sentences to express your opinions, personal opinions, explanations, future, and so forth. So let's just practice these sentences before I turn pages. Student student Katie, make a sentence starting with "It seems to me that." Make a sentence for me.
Yes. Mm, it seems to me that the equation in this exercise is really handy.
Mm-hmm. Student one, make a sentence with "occurs to me that." This one.
Uh, it occurs to me that when we want to invest to any project, we should consider on sides advantage or disadvantage about that.
Mm. Student Katie, the way I see it, this one.
The way I see it, the way I see it, we need to concentrate all of the information
Mm-hmm.
carefully.
Mm-hmm. Student one, this one.
This is due to the fact that the environment uh, is affected by people. They don't prevent dirty things and get out anything to the nature.
Mm. Student Katie, this one.
This is because a lot of mammals like rhinos or elephants are on the verge of extinction.
On the verge. Yeah. Student one, the last one.
The reason for that, the reason for this is that there are a lot of people who abandon
Mm-hmm.
their pets to the house. So there are a lot of stray pet, stray animal.
Mm-hmm. And I have a question. For future possibility and certainty, let's talk about the modal verbs. To show that you are very sure, which modal verb should you use? Tuan and Katie.
Definitely, that's
No,
very sure.
modal verb. You use will.
Moreover,
Will. Will. To show that you are
will
almost sure, which modal verb should you use? Katie
Mm,
and Tuan.
mm, may or might
Must.
a
Must.
must
must.
So, and something that's possible, like 50-50.
can.
Can or may. Yes? So make a sentence with will, must, and can. Who wants to try? Talk about the future. Who wants to try?
Mm, so I choose will first,
Okay.
and my sentence is I will travel around the world because I consider myself as an avid traveler.
Right. Tuan, make a sentence with must, meaning talk about the
I'm
future.
I must complete on task before I want to continue to study a new class.
Very good. And let's see. Student Katie, I want you to read the question and the situation for me.
Mm, what problem confirmation bias can cause in this situation? The way I see it, the company will definitely overlook many suitable candidates. This is due to the fact that people from smaller schools still have the necessary skills and knowledge from their previous jobs and real life experience.
Can you see, guys? Will is 95% of chance. It's not 100%, but it's 95%, right? Not 100. Uh, Student one, read this for me, this part, this paragraph here.
An HR officer selects candidates by looking at the schools the applicant want to. She believes people from well-known schools has better skills and knowledge.
And look at this. We have also some other expressions that are not modal. These are modal verbs, these ones. They are modal verbs. But here, no, they are adverbs, these ones, probably and definitely. They are adverbs. But remember the modal verbs we discussed before, like will and must. Okay? So what problems confirmation bias may cause in this situation? In this situation here, I'm talking about this situation here. What's the problem, guys, do you think confirmation bias can cause here for the human resources? Student one and Katie.
I think the problem here is just the maybe an HR of the HR officer maybe doesn't know how to choose the suitable candidate from the school.
Student one, anything you want to say or add? No?
Can you repeat? Yes.
Do you have anything to say before I turn pages?
Yes.
Okay. So now we'll discuss the problems that confirmation bias may cause in this situation. So, Tuan, read situation one for me.
That's situation one. The CEO has an idea from a new product. She thinks it can become very popular, so she asks her team to conduct market research to see the possibility of the product. With it in mind, the team conducts research.
Yeah, so the CEO thinks the products can become popular, and the team conduct research with the idea in their mind that this product can become very popular. So pay attention to the keywords here to identify the problems. Student Katie, read situation two for me.
Yes, an investment advisor read an article and predicts an economic recession in the next year. He looks for other signs of economic recession to advise his clients.
Recession.
Recession.
So where can you see confirmation bias in the situation, student Katie?
I think about an economic recession.
All right. So pay attention to the key words right there. So the investment advisor believes in the article. So he looks for the signs of economic recession, as you mentioned. So now you have 1 minute and 30 seconds to think about some problems confirmation bias may cause in each situation. Write them down in your notebook. Maybe you can send me on chat and I can correct. I'm giving 1 minute and a half. Are you ready to start? Let's go. You can think about some ideas. You can type in the chat box for me if you want. I'm getting answers from Katie here. Okay, time is up. So now you will work in groups. Groups means just you two, because just you two in the class today. You work in groups and discuss the problems that confirmation bias may cause in each situation. So Katie and Tuan, you're going to talk to one another. You can use the structure to show personal opinions and give explanations. This is the structure we discussed before. I'll put the situation on screen here, so you have some sentences. Don't forget the modal verbs we discussed before. And discuss the problems the confirmation bias may cause in situation. You can start. I want to hear you speaking to one another now. Have this conversation. You can start.
Yes. Hello, Miss Katie.
Yes, hello, Mr. Tung. So, can you
Yes.
tell me the problem in situation one?
Oh, that uh, with the situation once, I think I don't believe the way of the CEO work because I think the CEO only focus on some positive possibility of product. Uh, See, he didn't he don't catch about legacy of the products. That is not good for any new project, new products. We want to make. We want to invest.
Yes.
Uh, that we can unlock more information about the risk of the new products when we invest them.
Yes, I agree with you. And with the situation number two?
Which situation number two, I think this is good advisor because the advisors get about more information, more sites, uh, uh, positive or negative side. Before the advice give their advice to the investor. That is very big, very important for the investor can to get enough information and they can decide anything, any action. And you,
Yeah.
what is your opinion?
Well, I think with the situation number one, I think maybe the CEO can continue with the new product, but the problem is maybe she need to choose carefully about maybe the staff that have maybe good qualification to help her conduct with research and also in the long run she maybe she can create a new product with
Long run, long run,
long run
run,
um,
run, long
run
run.
long run. Mm, she can maybe have great success with this product. And situation number two, I think because maybe the advisor he can maybe know about an economic recession. So I think maybe he's really clever and he repair all of everything, even though the negative ones to maybe to be good in the next year.
Uh,
Hmm. Anything else
That's
to?
in
Yeah, continue.
the way I see it, I often invest to land. Uh, so before I invest any land, I often give more information about old place I can to invest and how many people uh, want to live in the place. After that, in fact I asked some my friend about more price of the place I want to invest. Uh, this is due to the fact that the land can to increase or now price day to day. So that is important for any people who want to invest to lands for earns money, for earning money.
Hmm. Before you deliver your presentation, let's make this a bit richer, this conversation. So, Katie, you are a freelancer. What do you do as a freelancer?
well, as a freelancer, I work as a tutor.
So you are a tutor. Tutor of
Yes,
what?
tutor for maybe teaching about Vietnamese and math for
Math.
maybe children.
Okay, so student one, Katie is a tutor of math for children. Try to guess,
Oh, oh.
try to guess some kind of bias that she might have with her students. And Katie will correct Tuan if Tuan is wrong. Tuan, try to guess about her profession. As a tutor of math, what kind of bias she might have with her students. Student one.
Oh, I think some teacher they focus on the get or the point their student can to pass. They don't care about health. Their health about the student health the student or the student can be stressed.
Hmm. Hmm. Is it true or false about you, student Katie? What Tuan said?
I think phones because, as you may know, a lot of students maybe face with a lot of difficulties, maybe even from the school or even from their house. So sometimes they feel really stressed, but I think that they don't feel stressed totally from their academic. So that's the reason why, as a tutor, I want to maybe deliver the lesson in a way that every student can understand. And when they see every exercises, then maybe they need to know how to solve it effectively. And sometimes I even have some tests for them in order to make sure that they understand the lesson, and if they wrong in some maybe in some equations or a lot of students maybe don't know how to handle it, I think I will maybe I will deliver it again and give them have more things to remember well, or maybe I have to change my teaching style.
Oh, that's very good. But
Yeah.
some teacher or some tutor in the school, they often give a lot of exercise for or task for the student. So the children, so busy for do them. They
Mm,
don't have enough time for relax or for play sport. That can affect to their physical or mind. Their children.
mm,
Mm, well, like me, I think it's not good to give a lot of exercises for children. Maybe just suitable because they don't learn only one lesson or maybe one subject. They have to learn with a lot of subjects it's at school. So each subject they also have a lot of homework. So that's the reason why I think just a suitable one is good for them. And
Oh,
then if they finish all, they can maybe relax or maybe do whatever they like.
mm.
yes,
Okay. What's your profession, Tuan? You are an engineer, correct?
yes. I'm an engineer.
Engineer of what?
I'm a mechanical engineer, and now I am working in power plant.
Power plant. Okay, so student Katie, what kind of bias might one have as an engineer of a power plant? Give an example.
Mm, yes, I think as an engineer, I guess you have a lot of things to design and maybe discuss with your coworkers. So maybe you have the problem when you discuss or not, and who is the final person to make a final decision in every appointment or every meeting.
Mm.
That's
Do,
I have a lot
go,
of appointment and meeting, and I also need to discuss with the contractor every day. So I'm very busy. Sometimes I feel stress.
yes, everybody feels stressed these days, don't we all? Yes or no, student Katie? Yes or no? Life is about stress, I believe. So, what we said today, help me with this one, guys. You two, what we said today.
Today we
Confirmation
said
bias,
about confirmation bias.
Confirmation bias. What else?
the cause, the problem.
Problem. Okay. Uh, what? How can we say it better? Help me.
This is because, as you may know, um, the
Mm.
reason is the reason for this is that
So some expressions, yes or no? Some expressions. And what do you think were very good, excellent examples of language today? For example, I liked when I heard the word verge, on the verge of something. I like this word. Do you have any other examples that you want to share? Student one, student Katie, some more
mm,
examples?
I think no.
Mhm. So, what was clear up to this point about confirmation bias? So remember, so let's read it, just conclude. So read it for me once and for all, please. Student Katie, just read this. What is
Yes.
confirmation bias? Yes, let's read. Confirmation
Uh,
bias.
the thinking habit when we accept evidence that supports the opinion we believe and ignore other evidence.
Excellent. So the main point of life is to avoid confirmation bias. I believe now you have a good vocabulary for confirmation bias. Yes or no?
Yes.
You know how to talk about future uncertainties. Yes or no?
Yes.
You can use the target structures to opine, to give your opinion about things in a discussion. Yes or no?
Yes.
All right. So don't forget to do your homework and try not to be biased. Next time, if you want to be more open-minded and critical. See you in the future. Don't die. Bye 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 and have a great day. Bye bye.
Yes.